Good morning, students. Welcome again in class 12th Economics. Students, today we are going to discuss demand schedule. Under this topic, we will discuss individual demand schedule, market demand schedule, and individual demand graph and market demand graph. So, first of all, we should come to know that what is demand schedule. So, in simple way, we can understand that tabular representation of relationship between demand and price is known as demand schedule. So, particular quantity demanded on different given prices during the given time period, we can say it can represent the demand schedule. So, we are having individual demand schedule when an individual or a individual customer or individual consumer is willing to get something on particular price in giving time period, that is known as individual demand schedule. So let's have a look on the individual demand schedule and their graph. So let's have a look on individual demand schedule. In column 1 we have taken price per kg. In column 2 we have taken quantity demanded per kg per week. So for consumer A we have taken rupees 100, that quantity demanded per kg 1, rupees 90 it is 2, rupees 80 it is 4, and rupees 70 it is 6. So we can understand well that different price we are having different quantity demanded by individual. So this is known as individual demand schedule. So one thing we have to keep in mind that according to law of demand, higher the price, lower the demand, and lower the price, higher the demand. So this rule is being followed by individual demand schedule. I hope so you can understand well how to make the demand schedule. After individual demand schedule, we are moving towards market demand schedule. So tabular representation of two or more than two consumers' demand on different given prices in given time period is known as market demand schedule. So for understanding market demand schedule, we will follow the table as like this. Let's have a look of this market demand schedule. In column 1 we have taken price per kg. Column 2 we have taken quantity demanded by A. Column 2 we have taken quantity demanded by B per kg per week. And column C we have taken total of A and B. So A is consuming at rupees 101, B is consuming 2. So market demand will be 3 at rupees 100, rupees 90. 2 commodities, 2 kg consumed by consumer A and 3 kg is consumed by consumer B, and total will be 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So like that we are having that sum total of all the consumers, or it may be 2 or more than 2 consumers on particular price in given time period, that tabular representation of their demand is known as market demand schedule. So the next topic is demand curve. We can say so that graphical representation of the demand, law of demand, is known as demand curve. It may be individual demand curve, it may be market demand curve. While we are going for market demand, then it will be market demand curve. While we are representing in the case of individual demand, it will be individual demand curve. So we can say so that demand schedule is represented graphically, then it is known as demand curve. So we can also say like that demand curve is showing the different quantity demanded at various alternative prices during the given period. So let's have a look how to make individual demand curve. So we are knowing well that x-axis and y-axis both are there. Always we are taking x-axis quantity demanded. Table you can follow which I have told you before. In that consumer A is consuming 1 kg of commodity at price 100, and on 90 it is having 2, on 80 it is having 3, and on 70 it is having 4, on 60 it is having 5. So like that we can have. So y-axis we have taken price in rupees. So remember, on x-axis we are taking quantity demanded, maybe in kg, maybe in liter according to the unit, and y-axis we have to take price in rupees. So then we will mark with the help of dot on individual demand. like 100, 1 and 80, 2 like we can mark, and afterwards we can use that pencil to make that graph. So this graph is there, which I told you, that is right, left to right and downward slope. It is a negative slope. Why it is a negative slope? Because the relationship between demand and price is always having inverse relationship. So let's have a look how to make market demand curve. For that we have to go through the same table which we have followed before. Price in rupees 100, 90, 80 and 70, and quantity A. Quantity demanded by consumer A, quantity demanded by consumer B per week, and then we'll have total A plus B. So this is the demand schedule which will follow to make market demand curve. How to make? We'll first make demand curve of A, then demand curve of B, and then we'll add both demand curve and we'll make demand curve for market. So here we are having all three demand curves. First demand curve for consumer A, second for consumer B, and third for market demand curve A plus B. So let us have a look. Individual demand curve, you have come to know that quantity demanded by A on different prices. On x-axis we have taken that quantity demanded in kg, and y-axis we have taken price, and in same way we have taken in case of B. So according to that we are making the dots, and we are using with the line, with the pencil we are matching them, and we are having individual demand curve. Now the question is how to make the market demand curve. So we have taken that price in rupees on y-axis and quantity demanded on x-axis, and then we have taken that market demand on 100 rupee. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, so that 3 kg demanded on 100 rupee. And then on 80 rupees we are having you can see 9 kg, and on 70 rupees we are having 13 kg. So like that we can have, and we can with the help of pencil we can match these dots, and that market demand curve is ready. So it is not a tough task to make a market demand curve. You can make it easily with the help of that market demand schedule.